World Cup of the 2005-2006 Olympic season.
So welcome to beautiful Innsbruck Eagles. Nice weather here.
Ron Hughes, Dresden, Germany.
John Morgan, Lake Placid, New York, USA. We'll be doing the call for you today. Favorites in the competition, Ron. Pretty much the same cast of characters.
Pierre Luders of Canada, also in foreman, dangerous. 7th in World Cup points. Two-man world champion.
Hasn't had a great year yet, but Rennie Spies has been lurking around the podium. Didn't compete in Lake Placid.
Normally a two-man specialist, but he gets better and better in the four-man. So maybe good for a surprise, good for a podium here.
The big Texan from Del Rio, Todd Hayes, second in Calgary, crashed in Lake Placid. Spectacular crash. He's back in 9th in World Cup points, but had some great training runs.
Alexander Zubkov, the Russians. Well, overall World Cup title winner last season. And he is the man to look at.
He won this event last year going away, and here's the guy they all chase.
Andre Lange, but he is struggling in Igls in Innsbruck. He doesn't have his best crew. His best men are training at home, and he has problems with his new FES sled.
Here's our World Cup standings. Lange coming out of North America, first and a second. He's our first and second. He's the leader. White Conn of the United States and Steve Holcomb, 6th and 7th.
Todd Hayes didn't get points in Lake Placid, as you said, because he crashed and didn't get all the crew members to the finish line. You need them, so he was disqualified.
These top 20 names is probably what you're going to see at the Olympic Games. Good crowd of Austrians on hand.
Very close to ski slopes, so quite a lot of people come down here to watch the race. And this is the track, very traditional track built for the 76 Olympics, 1,220 meters, quite short.
Short by most standards, and it's a track about start time. You don't have a start time on this track, you have no chance. There's some of the skiers you talked about, Ron, but now let's take a ride. And saw the two-man coverage, we gave you the same POV. We really like this. It shows you how they steer these sleds.
So on the left side you see the front runners and how they move when you pull the ropes. So you steered with ropes.
It's really been around a long time, the steering mechanism.
Yeah. First they had steering wheels, I think, on some of the first sleds, but then they came to this rope mechanism.
Well, the Americans were the last ones to use steering wheels. My father used to in the 60s. And Americans changed over to the ropes in the late 60s, early 70s. Look at that. Not a lot of steering up here, top of the track where the speeds are slow. Now we come into the Kreisel. Look at his left. Look at the left side, Ron. There's about 3 G's of force here. Big whip around curve. You exit now. Curve 8, 9, the pivotal part of the track.
Yeah, 8 and then 9, the left curve. Exit of 9, very important.
Now the speed, 75 plus miles an hour down the labyrinths. A lot of the times the back ends of the sleds will be airborne in that last labyrinth. We'll watch for that today. Exit uphill. It's not a hard track to get down, but it's a hard track to get down fast.
So that's already the finish. You have to brake. It's a little curve, and then you have to brake again.
More bobsledding coming up from Innsbruck after the break.
Introducing the all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe with available features like a power remote lift gate, power release fold and tumble second row seats, and rear view camera system. Chevy Tahoe, an American revolution.
This month, 6 world-famous skaters, including Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Hamilton, Kurt Browning, and Dorothy Hamill, will face the toughest challenge of their careers. Oh my God. Skating with untrained celebrities, including Deborah Gibson, Todd Bridges, and Full House's Dave Coulier. And when the celebs hit the ice,
you okay?
live in front of an audience,
We need to practice.
the ice hits back.
The next thing you know, I was bleeding. That hurt.
Skating with Celebrities, a new series premiering this month on Fox.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Bodine, and I take great pride in my Bodine Bobsled project that supplies made-in-USA bobsleds to our USA Olympic bobsled team. I'm going to have a bobsled race in Lake Placid and get a few of my NASCAR buddies involved as a fundraiser for the Bodine Bobsled Project. They'll be driving specially designed bobsleds like this one. So come to Lake Placid and see NASCAR drivers driving bobsleds. We'll see you there. I got to get some practice. Let's go.
This is it. The Chevy Red Tag event ends January 3rd. Get to your Chevy dealer now for low red tag prices on most Chevy vehicles. Like the 2006 Chevy Cobalt LS with an EPA estimated 34 highway miles per gallon. Now, get an 06 Cobalt LS Coupe for the red tag price of $12,437 after all applicable offers. Hurry, the Chevy Red Tag event ends January 3rd. See your local Chevy dealer.
It's time for heat on ice. This is the time to fight. On the spot for me was waiting. Heat on the ice.
Some of our coaches on the FIVT World Cup circuit. Today's program brought to you by Chevrolet, the official sponsor of the United States Olympic team.
Some fan clubs are here. So this is the sled park.
First heat highlights, one heat down. Team Todd Hayes, Pavel Janovic, Steve Messler, Bill Schuffenauer, 4th place, but they had to start 19th because of the seating, because of that crash.
And Rennie Spies, I said to you, normally specialized on 2-man bobs, now very good on the 4-man, driving his ISE sled, 3rd.
Alexander Zubkov won this event last year, won the last event in Lake Placid, the World Cup title holder. The Russians are really coming on in this sport as one of the dominant powers.
And Martin Annen is in the lead in the 4-man, new push record. And he got beaten yesterday in the 2-man in the 2nd heat by the Russian.
But
Now
by a
he is in the
mistake.
lead, yeah.
He made a mistake yesterday. I don't know about Annen making any mistakes today. The guy's got superior start times, looks like Martin Annen. Looks like he's got a sled and crew built for this track.
0.2 of a second.
That's a lot of time.
Ahead of Zubkov. Yesterday he lost 11/10 in the 2nd heat, so you never know.
Bruno Manjean tied with Hopner.
Luders.
Stevie Holcomb in 10th. Mike Kahn of the United States pulled the hamstring in the 2-man. Won't be going in the 4-man. That really hurts his Olympic hopes. Beautiful day to slide here. Again, the Igls, which is the site of 2 Winter Olympic Games in 1964 and 1976. The control steel is the key. That's the runner they hang at the top of the track, and your runner has to be within plus or minus 4 degrees of that to be legal. Good crowd on hand, top of the track. The athletes discuss how they're going to get down fast. And it's 35 sleds from 19 different nations, typical Olympic year run.
Yeah, they all come back, especially on these easy tracks like Calgary or like Innsbruck Eagles.
Second run, it's according to your first run result, 20th place to 1. Your first run is according to your World Cup seeding. The first group, top 10, then the second group's the 10 to 20, third group's 20 and back. So the seeding, very important because you have a better ice to work with here in that front seat.
So jury, Rika Fischbach from Germany, Hannes Frank, Jörg Wert. Rika Fischbach used to work with the German team, so in the early years. But then Wolfgang Hoppe, the Olympic champion, took over as the head coach.
They're the ones that'll make sure the race is run properly. So we're going to come back after the break and we're going to show you the top 15 sleds plus in the world here in Innsbruck, Austria. Stay with us on Speed.
10 years of classics.
Beautifully done.
10 years of dream cars.
The best of the best.
10 years of Barrett Jackson on Speed.
That is history.
The world's greatest collector car event returns, bigger than ever.
One of the most extraordinary auctions I've ever experienced.
6 amazing days and over 30 hours of expanded coverage live. Plus, indulge your passion. Log on to speedtv.com and make your Haggerty fantasy bid.
Drop that hammer!
Barrett Jackson, January 17th through the 22nd on Speed. Brought to you by Porsche.
the flag. NASCAR returns to Fox.
The world is a noisy place. But you can relax in your own peaceful sanctuary. Experience the Quiet Comfort 2 acoustic noise-canceling headphones from Bose. They deliver an unmatched combination of noise reduction, highly acclaimed audio performance, and comfortable fit. Owners tell us how musical nuances come through, even in distracting environments. Now today's QC2 headphones are even better, thanks to enhanced audio performance and styling. These comfortable headphones electronically identify and reduce noise while faithfully preserving music or tranquility. Travel and Leisure Golf says these headphones allow you to forget the world outside. Use our 30-day risk-free trial to try the Quiet Comfort 2 headphones. Order now and receive a free Bose CD player, a $50 value, and free shipping. Call today and leave the noise behind.
It's time for heat on ice. Is this the time to fight? The spot for me was waiting. Heat on the ice.
Die Einspielung der Fernsehstation. Man geht wieder live auf Sendung und unser
Welcome back to the Bob Track in Innsbruck, Austria. Our first competitors are from Austria.
So the locals, and Wolfgang Stampfer, he's actually from Innsbruck.
Hey, but before we get to the first slide, our next event's in Cortina, Italy, Ron. And
That's a real track.
Little different than Innsbruck. They say Innsbruck's an Autobahn compared to Cortina. Stampfler, Proler, Silos, and Whites. They just give up so much time at the start, even though this is his home track. And look how flat this track is. This has got to be one of the flattest start tracks that exist on the circuit.
But you need to go to the limit, 630 kilograms, because in the bottom part of the track you need this weight, especially on this track. So this is the limit, and if your crew is not heavy enough, you have to put weight in the sled. And then it's even more complicated to get a decent start time.
Well, they want to go maximum weight, so a lot of times you see those crew guys weighing themselves constantly because they don't want to be a couple pounds over and get thrown out of the race. It's a maximum weight sport, and as Ron, as you mentioned, it's about gravity in the bottom. And he's +7 at the last clock. The only chance he's got is to make that +7. That's at +8. That's not a good sign. But down on the bottom part of the track, if there's anybody that knows the track, it's him. This is where his driving skills take over. Look at that, +8 to 0. 70+ miles an hour, and this was what Wolfgang Stampfler can do across the finish line. Picks up enough time on the bottom.
Not the fastest in the second heat. You see it 52.40, only second fastest, but, well, you have to put both runs together, and he's our leader.
He's the leader. He probably had two great drives down the track, but, you know, with the 20+ start time, that 20th position, the start time, it's tough.
Martin Galliker, Murren, Schweiz. Das ist mein Team. Mario Volax, Jörg Thomann, Jörg Ecker.
Some new Swiss guys.
Yeah, he was already in St. Moritz last year. That was his first World Cup, now his second World Cup here. Came for Ralf Rueck. So there's still enough Ruecks on bobsledding. We will see Ivo a little later.
Here's our start clock on the right. You've got a minute to start after they give you the bell. If that minute expires, you get disqualified. So they got off with 25 seconds to go, which is normal. You might hear a few Swiss bells in the background. There's quite a contingent of Swiss fans here on the mountain.
Oh, it's not too far away for the Swiss to come here to Austria. They're big Bob fans. They call these bells, they call them Reichel. Interesting word.
And how do you want to describe that to us in English?
I don't know. I don't even know what it is in German. It's Swiss German. I don't have a clue. So, but they have the bells, and he is in the lead by 800s. But we saw Wolfgang Stampfer. He was very quick at the end of the track.
-6, -8 to -6, losing time back. Looks like the head's really snapped in the Kreisel. That's not a good exit. The next clock will tell it all. If he's still in the minus, he might have a chance. He's -4. This is going to be another one, but that's a skid there, right to the 100.
He needs a shorter track to survive. He doesn't do it. 100th of a second.
Length of your fingernail, and that little skid going into the final third of the labyrinths really cost him, but he's a young pilot. He'll have his moments.
Constantly losing time. And imagine when the finish line comes a little earlier, then he's on the top.
Comes 10 feet earlier. He's the one, you know, the leader. Look at the Austrians. We'll take it. 100th, doesn't matter. And look at the Swiss coach. Oh, give me a break. He'll live for another day. Last season, the Eagles run. Check this out.
This can happen even on a track like this. Swedish team, Johan Helsmo.
Comes back up. Woo! Goes back to the bottom. Everybody walked away. Look at this shot. More bobsledding on speed after this.
You've seen the auctions. Now, see it from the inside.
People really have no idea.
Let's head to the block.
Barrett Jackson, Life on the Block. Monday night, 9 Eastern, on Speed.
Let's see, we got Vonage a couple of months ago. It was easy to install. I mean, I'm not really technical, like, at all, and I did it myself. Look, so I just used our old phone, and it costs less, too. It's just $24.99 a month, and that includes voicemail, call waiting, caller ID, and a lot more at no extra charge. So we just love it.
We're not out to change the world, just the way you talk to it. Sign up now and get your first month free. Call 1-800-930-4VON. High-speed internet connection required.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Bodine, and I take great pride in my Bodine Bobsled project that supplies made-in-USA bobsleds to our USA Olympic bobsled team. I'm going to have a bobsled race in Lake Placid and get a few of my NASCAR buddies involved as a fundraiser for the Bodine Bobsled project. They'll be driving specially designed bobsleds like this one. So come to Lake Placid and see NASCAR drivers driving bobsleds. We'll see you there. I got to get some practice. Let's go.
This is it. The Chevy Red Tag event ends January 3rd. Get to your Chevy dealer now for low red tag prices on most Chevy vehicles. Like the 2006 Chevy Cobalt LS with an EPA estimated 34 highway miles per gallon. Now, get an 06 Cobalt LS Coupe for the red tag price of $12,437 after all applicable offers. Hurry, the Chevy Red Tag event ends January 3rd. See your local Chevy dealer.
It's time for heat on ice. Is this the time to fight? The hottest part for me was screaming. Heat on the ice.
Welcome back to Igls, Innsbruck, Austria, for the next sled. And this is André Lange.
André Lange, Suhl, Deutschland. Das ist mein Team. Udo Lehmann, Thomas Pöge, Michael Makarov.
Unbelievable, 12th place only. Let's have a look at this season, starting in Calgary.
He was making it look easy up in Calgary. He won the two-man event, four-man event. Well, he had won the World Championships there the previous year. And he walked away with the gold medal. You know, he was just another day in the office for him. Medals, of course, through then he's off to Lake Placid.
The real bobsleigh track, Alexander Zubkov, the Russian, won.
This is the second year in a row he's won in Lake Placid. Zubkov has really come on in this sport. He is a Russian coach, Larry, their head coach. Little champagne battle in the finish. But Lange back here in double digits. This is shocking run. He's got a totally new team.
Yeah, but he sent his team for the Olympics. He sent it home for proper training. This is a team with some very old guys. Sorry to say this, but Udo Lehmann, for instance, he was selected by Harald Schudai after his gold medal from the Olympics, so in 1994. So 11 years in bobsledding. Thomas Pöge came 2 years ago to bobsledding, and a very new guy is Michael Makarov. He's a discus thrower, just started.
Well, the Lange resting his guys. All he's got to do is stay in the first seed.
And he also has problems with the new sled. That's the new FES sled. Matthias Höfner, who we see a little later, he changed back to his old sled. Andre still tries to make something with his new sled, but they have to find something. It's not good at all.
Minus 12 to minus 6. Andre Lange, a guy who's accustomed to being in the top 5, he might not be in the top 10. Oh! Now, Stoffler won by 100th of a second. The previous run, and here this time he gets beat by 100th of a second. That tells you how close the competition is here in Igls.
You know, when they saw the start time from the first heat, and the second wasn't much better, his coach, Matthias Trübner, said, hey, when you see the start time, then pretend you're injured.
Next up, the Latvians.
Jānis Mīns,
Kuldīga, Latvija. Tā ir mana komanda. Mārcis, Rolis, Pīters, Rītsmans, Jānis, Ozols.
Jan Zoll has been around for a few years. He's used to be in the back of Sanders Prusas' sled.
And when he says his name on camera, he's an entertainer.
Well, a lot of these guys are hams anyways, let me tell you. We're doing the headshot sessions with them. But Menace is a young driver, won the Junior World Championships a few years ago, won a medal on this track a few years ago as in the World Cup, but just hasn't had a lot of results. Had a disastrous North American part of the tour.
That's not this season. I don't know what's going on there. The Latvian team.
There's minus 15. That's a great sign. Now, listen to the sounds of this big runaway truck. Minus 12, minus 18. Look for the head snap here. The heads all behind each other. That is a good run, a good exit. Now he's accelerating away. It's up to 2100ths. Here's the last big key. The runners, he's playing with them. How much is it going to cost him? 21 to 26, not a lot. He's flying. This is a good run.
This is our leader. So he's beating Andre Lange, who looks quite disappointed because, I mean, he knew that he can't be that good with the sled and with his team. But he said to me, Ron, I only see the Olympic rings in this season. So that's the most important race.
He put a couple gold medals in his pocket. North America, he's over here just going through the motions. Here's our standings. Menace, Lange, Stampfler. Wow. Just can't believe Andre Lange is in the back. Coming up, first of two American sleds, Team Steve Holcomb. Stay with us.
Hey, Greg White here. On the next Two Wheel Tuesday, we check out the happenings in the world of Supercross. Plus, Chad Reed, one of Supercross' biggest stars, is here to answer your questions. So tune into Two Wheel Tuesday, 8 Eastern, only on Speed.
See you tonight.
Okay.
Introducing the all-new Suzuki Grand Vitara. You want more out of life? Suzuki's giving you the green light. Go! Lease the all-new Suzuki Grand Vitara for just $199 a month for 30 months. Hurry in.
Wednesday night on Speed. Line them up, then show them off. First, put your car where your ego is.
Here I am, buddy. Let's race. Do I look worried?
Pinks, lose the race. Lose your ride.
That is cool.
Then,
you know what? Chet might be getting fired. Seriously.
go inside the world of celebrity car customizing.
I expect things my way, and that's it.
Unique whips, and later, egos, wrenches, and 30 days to build or bust.
I can do this.
It all begins Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, only on Speed.
Sunday, January 15th, 24 returns to Fox with a special two-night premiere. And Speed wants to put you on the inside with the 24 Ultimate Jack Bauer Driving Experience Sweepstakes. Daily prizes awarded, or you could be headed to Hollywood to the set of 24 and to stunt driving school to learn how to drive like a CTU agent. Go to speedtv.com for more info and then click through to enter the 24 Ultimate Jack Bauer Driving Experience Sweepstakes. And don't miss the premiere of 24 Sunday, January 15th at 8, 7 Central, only on Fox.
Welcome back to the Bob Track in Igls, Austria, just above the city of Innsbruck. Next up, USA number 2, Steve Holcomb. There's our leaders. The Latvians are at the bottom. Good crowd on hand of Austrians.
Steve Holcomb, Park City, Utah, USA. This is my team.
Brock Kreitzberg, Jason Ross,
Kurt Tomasevich.
Steve Holcomb, is this a good track for the Bodine sleds?
I think this is a good track just in general. I mean, our sleds seem to be running well here. We did well yesterday in the 2-man. The 4-man is going pretty well. I didn't have a very good first run, but I was still pretty quick. So I think we have a good setup. I think we have some good runners. We have a good push through. Have a decent drive for the second run. I can move up some spots and maybe pull out a medal. I don't know. We'll see.
Good luck in the second heat.
All right, thank you.
4th place finish in this event last year. Kreitzberg's from the University of Toledo. Tomasevich, University of Nebraska-Lincoln. He's quietly making a statement for himself. He's not had hasn't been on the podium yet, but he's been scratching around that podium for a couple years. Most importantly, he's young.
Now, maybe he's right about the sled. I mean, you can see it maybe even better in the two-man, you know? Some sleds, when you make a mistake, they are shaking like wet dogs, but the Bodine, that stands, that goes forward, and hey, you see it on the times? What do we see here? 1100s.
He's picking up time. He was -8 to -11. Didn't have a great start. Little tap there, but that's at the high speed mark. -11. This clock will tell you if that tap's going to cost him anything. -19. He's going away. He's flying. That's big speed in the bottom. And Steve Holcomb of Park City, he'll be our leader. Wow. Good
Fastest here this year, 52.11 and 144.05. That's our overall leader. And 9 more sleds to come. So at least a top 10 result.
Well, he was 4th in this event last year. Good run for the young guy from Park City, Utah. Here, we'll give you an idea on the exit of 9, the speed. There's the Bodine sled posting the best speed in the bottom, even beats Stomfler. This is his home track, and that's a good sign.
Could be better.
It can always be better when you're not winning. And the Swiss team, Ivo Rüegg.
Ich bin Ivo Rüegg, Ducke, Schweiz. Und das ist meine Mannschaft. Bruno Giesler, Roman Hanschin, Elmar Schuffelberger.
Well, here comes Ivo Rüegg, who didn't have a very good North American circuit at all. In fact, he lost his cousin, got bounced. There's the little shoes. The shoes is what gives you that grip across the ice. That's the older version. There's the leaders, USA 2.
Yeah, there is a new development from Adidas. They have brought some new shoes, and all the athletes I spoke to used them already. They're very happy with the new Adidas shoes.
Well, if you don't have those little spikes going across the ice, it's like trying to run on a bar of soap. It just does not work. And these guys, these people are sprinting.
Yeah, the problem is, you know, when you develop these shoes, I mean, you do all this expensive development just for a couple of hundred athletes. So you don't sell these shoes for normal people.
No, you don't walk into a local shoe store and buy this stuff. Here's the comparison. Who gets in first now? Look at the techniques. Which stretch? Steve Holcomb, the first step in. He's down. The American crew, it looks like they're down quicker than the Swiss, and that's surprising. Usually the Swiss are the quickest people in the sleds. They like the gravity in the sleds. But the Americans here were the quickest in. Now, the clock's not, and there's the clock, +7. They had a better start time.
Whoa.
A little shaky there, +9, bleeding some more time away. Look at the runner tips here. That's a skid. That's not how to do it. +9 at the last clock. He doesn't get it down into single digits. This looks like Steve Holcomb will move up at least 1. Ivo Rüegg to the finish. It's not going to be enough.
We saw all these little mistakes, these little drifts there, and he was steering. Maybe we see it on a slow motion. Then have a look at the front runners, at the runner tips. That's when you see when you steer, and that's not good.
It's not about the guy who steers the most that wins. It's the guy who steers the least, especially on an easy track like this. Now, there's the exit of curve 9. How close does he get to the picture? He looks a little late coming off. Here's the same
look at the
exit. Look at the runner tips. The back end's in a skid. Look at him play with the runners. Look at the runners coming at us. Look at the speed, too. He's almost a full kilometer down to Steve Holcomb. And in bobsledding, that's an eternity of speed right there. Well, next up, we have some Canadian sliders.
Pierre Lueders, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. This is my team. Ken Kotick.
Morgan Alexander. Lascelles Brown.
Pretty formidable group of athletes right here.
But as you already said in the two-man program, Lascelles, King Brown is still waiting for his Canadian passport, and he needs it for the Olympics.
Look at the strides. Look, it's almost like choreography. Feet are all coming down exactly the same. Then they have to get in with cat-like movements, sit down behind Pierre Lueders in an aerodynamic position, and Lueders, after curve 2, had the best speed. Now, you could have the best start time, but if you don't have the best speed, that's a reflection of how you got in the sled. You altered the direction of the sled. Lueders' team did it perfectly there. 2100s, he's flying. He can only throw away with a bad exit here. That looks pretty clean. 21 at the last clock, should be plus more of that. No, lost some time back. And the bottom part of the track It's going to be another close call. 12. He didn't lose that much time back. So Pierre Lueders. Pierre has not had that good a year in 2 or 4 yet. But he might just be sleeping, resting, trying to peak in February. But he's the leader. And we hear Pierre yelling something.
You see the new Visa design on his sled.
Here's the Kreisel. You know, here's the exit of 9, the bottom part of the track. That's the exit of Kreisel right there.
Holcomb with the best speed here, but Lueders is our leader.
This weekend on Speed's Lost Drive-In. Tonight, Mark Hamill stars in Corvette Summer.
That's the greatest car I ever saw.
Tomorrow, John Wayne is a renegade cop out for justice.
Dad, I want this case.
McHugh, The Lost Drive-In begins tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Capture the flag. NASCAR returns to Fox.
A Dell Media Center PC is an exciting way to bring all your favorite pictures, music, and movies together in one place. It's easy to organize and share photos with family and friends, create slideshows, and print beautiful pictures. You can also listen to, organize, and archive your favorite music, or take it on the road with a Dell MP3 player. Or bring your movies to life in a crystal clear, award-winning Dell LCD monitor. Dell Media Center PCs give you the entertainment experience you want from your PC. Call now and get an awesome Dell Dimension E310 with Windows XP Media Center Edition for just $599. You'll also get a free 17-inch flat panel monitor. Plus, for a limited time, you'll even get free shipping. And ask how Dell On Call can help you get the most out of your PC experience. A Dell Media Center PC. It's more than a PC that does it all. It's a Dell.
Welcome back to Speed Channel's coverage of World Cup 4-man bobsledding. Next up from Germany.
Matthias Höpfner, Riesa, Deutschland. Das ist mein Team.
Ronny Listner, Mark Kühne.
Andreas Barucha.
They're from all over East Germany. So one is from Riesa, one from Chemnitz, one from Halle, and one from Potsdam, close to Berlin.
Well, he had a great result in the 2-man bobsled, unlike him.
His 2-man is running very well. He's got the same 2-man like Andre Lange, the new FES. But he was using the new 4-man too, and he decided, no, I don't want to take it. There are still some jobs to do on the new sled, so he went back to his old sled, 2 years old.
And you can look at the nose, you can tell this is not of the new FES Berlin design. He lacks at the start, but he has always had a very decent ability as a driver. Watch these guys get in. These are all big men. You don't believe how hard it is to jump in that sled on that little side, jump in, get down, and get in behind the driver. There's this after curve 2, Hoffner almost a half kilometer down to Lueders. And he's going to have to be perfect the rest of the way down because he's down by 1600ths of a second. Little skid there. Still bleeding time away. It's at 18. Look at the runner tips here. Another bang.
Little correction, but it's not enough, no. Matthias Höpfner.
Still at 16, he stopped the bleeding, and he's fast on the bottom, but I think he's going to run out of track. Too short of track, there it is, and Lueders picks up somebody, he likes it, reels in one more sled. Give Germany number 3, Matthias Höpfner, another couple hundred meters, he might beat him.
Coached by Gerd Leopold, who's also looking after the Dutch team. But he's his personal coach from Riesa.
Matthias can only look on and say, where did he beat me? Probably, I would say at the start. Look at the runner tips, Ron. A little late coming off there, a little bit of a back-end skid. That tap, that's got to be worth a 10th.
It's a little like mixed emotions for him, you know. Normally he's a better one in the 4-man, but this time Spies is probably going to beat him. But he beat Spies yesterday in the 2-man. What's going on there in the German team?
And Pierre Lueders says, hey guys, congratulations. We moved up a spot, we're liking it. getting in the top 7. Matthias says, hey, gave it my best effort.
But
Now,
Höpfner was tied with Bruno Méjean.
Bruno Méjean, La Plagne, France. Voici mon équipe. Fouquet Christophe.
Pierre-Alain Menroux. Alexandre Hitz.
well, you talk about a guy with some eyes and hands. Former world champion in 1999 in Cortina, where we go next. Former bronze medalist at the 98 games, but we talk about the 50-meter start. If there's ever a place where he really lacks, it's right here.
Actually, I was a little surprised that he was that good on this track here. 5:17 is for Bruno Méjean a decent start. 6 tied with Höpfner. But in last seasons, you could see, you know, he's done brilliant runs, and the second one, or maybe sometimes the first one, was not good at all. So what can he do now?
Not been consistent. 25 hundredths of a second down at the halfway part of the track. Needs to be perfect all the way down. And that's not perfect. That's a big skid on the pivotal part of the track, the exit of Kreisel, where you want to have a slingshot effect, and there's another skid. This is unlike the former world champion and Olympic bronze medalist. Now almost 4/10. This is not the way to do it. A little late in the last labyrinth, and Lueders and the team Lueders has really been somebody else. Wow.
Back to 6th place, only the 12th best time in this second heat.
That's just shocking. That tells you when you don't have a great start, you just cannot make any kind of a mistake on the way down.
Yeah.
Look at that skid on the exit of Kreisel. That is not the way to be fast, especially on the short track at Igls. First of 2 Russian sleds coming up now.
Евгений Попов, Красноярск, Россия. А это моя команда.
Петр Макарчук. Егоров Филипп.
Алексей Андрюнин.
Philip Yegorov, he's the intellectual on this team.
He looks it with the glasses on. He speaks decent English.
Yeah, English.
One of the Singer sleds that they have. And, you know, the Russians got a lot of money in the sport. In fact, their Bob team sponsor is the bus line, the auto line in Moscow. There's pictures from Moscow. Look at the bus. Look at the Russian bobsled team on the side. They did this last year. The Russians came out. They won the World Cup title in 4-man bobsledding. The Russians have really embraced bobsledding, and I think it has a lot to do with they won. The Russians like people who win gold medals in winter sports.
That's interesting, because normally you put the name of the sponsor of your sled. They put pictures of the team on the sponsor. So, buses.
Popov used to be Russia 1, then he had that really bad crash in Altenburg in November of 1992 or 2002 and has not recovered. This is not bad, the result he's in here. He's looking for a top 6. Start time, 5:05. Look at the grip, look at the feet coming down now. He doesn't have the same consistent team that his Zubkov does, who won the World Cup title. And when you're relegated to number 2, you got to pick up who's available. But the Russians are not lacking for push athletes, and none of these athletes are small. Saw the size of the 10 Russians walking around. Whoa. But Popov here, -6 to -10. Look at the runner tips here. That's a skid. Didn't hit the wall, but that's still major skid, major loss of time. But -10, he's holding on.
That tells us this Singer sled cannot be bad. Is it enough? It is.
At the bottom, even with that skid on the exit of 9, the Russians show their enthusiasm for this. Might be one of Popov's best finish in years.
There's still one sled to come for the Russians. Zubkov being in 2nd.
Hey, take a bite of that, I'm probably saying.
He said, yeah, I love you. Whoever it was, I don't know.
Here's what happened. Our next guy coming up, Todd Hayes. He was 2nd into the first heat in Lake Placid. Then this happened. He's going to try and redeem himself coming up after the break. It's Team Todd Hayes going for a medal.
You own your own business, and today, you're expecting a package. The thing is, you're going to be at every address in town, except your own. Don't you worry about a thing. All you need is a mailbox at the UPS store. We'll sign for your packages, receive your mail, and keep it secure until you can pick it up. And your business gets a real street address. So when it comes to your mail, let the UPS store worry about it. That's our thing. Don't you worry about a thing. The UPS store, the place for mailbox services and a whole lot more.
Thursday night on Speed. First, catch 1 full hour of Sports Car Revolution. Then, Street Tuner Challenge takes it from factory stock to custom rock.
You're gonna see some serious stuff.
Later, Nobi Tuner Vision.
I'm telling you, this is weird.
Fast action with all the appeal. Plus, AMA Supercross Lights is supercharged and ready to fly in Vancouver.
Unbelievable how much action we've got going on here already.
It all begins Thursday night, 8 Eastern, on Speed.
This weekend on Speed's Lost Drive-In. Friday, when Ken's dream car is stolen.
This car is in Las Vegas.
He'll have to make it on the strip before his car gets stripped.
I think they were getting ready to kill me.
Mark Hamill stars in Corvette Summer. Saturday, John Wayne is a renegade cop out for justice.
I want to know who did it and why.
But the Duke may be on the wrong side of the law.
I'm not going to stand for you making up your own rules.
McHugh, The Lost Drive-In begins Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Bodine, and I take great pride in my Bodine Bobsled project that supplies made-in-USA bobsleds to our USA Olympic bobsled team. I'm going to have a bobsled race in Lake Placid and get a few of my NASCAR buddies involved as a fundraiser for the Bodine Bobsled project. They'll be driving specially designed bobsleds like this one. So come to Lake Placid and see NASCAR drivers driving bobsleds. We'll see you there. I got to get some practice. Let's go.
Welcome back to Innsbruck.
Todd Hayes, Del Rio, Texas, United States. This is my team.
Pavle Jovanovic. Bill Schiffenhauer. Steve Messler.
We talked to Todd about the first heat.
Todd, the crash in Lake Placid put you in 20th draw for this race here. How's that going to affect you?
Well, more than just the crash put me in the 20th draw. We had some different things going on, but you know, that's what happens when you crash. You get moved back, and we just got to overcome it.
Well, the way to overcome it is 20th. He's in 4th place here to the first heat. That's not bad. This track really, the time drops away for the first 10 sleds that come down. After that, the rest of the sleds are working with a very scratched up ice surface. But for Hayes to be in this position speaks highly of his push team, his sled, and his driving abilities. And once he gets back in that first seed, he won't have that problem. Best speed after curve 2, that's the best start. Best speed, that's the combination you want. That's a winning combination right there. -10. Todd, he doesn't only want to stay ahead of the Russian, he wants to put a good time down, get in the clubhouse, and hope one of the teams coming up the next 3 falters.
Did you see the head going down, you know? Our dynamic position, he saw that he got a good exit, and he got the straight well.
That takes a lot of bravery to do that. Todd Hayes, Team Todd Hayes, they're the leaders. 2200s, that's good on the bottom part of that track.
The Russians can say do svidaniya, goodbye from the leaders box, and the Americans will be there very soon.
So the Bodine sled and Team Hayes are our present leaders. Here's the exit of curve 9. This is where the Bodine sled started to fly. Here he is in curve 10. Hayes with the best speed on the bottom part of the track. And that's what these Bodine sleds do at the high rate of speed. They fly. Next up,
German team, René Spies, the team from Winterberg.
René Spies, Winterberg, Germany. Das sind meine Anschieber. Christoph Heider. Enrico Kühn, Alexander Metzger.
And on these names, you can see that he got the team from Christoph Langen. Christoph Langen, big German Olympic champion, retired after he had a heart attack last year.
Now, in the commentator's box, like us, Ron, FES Berlin, and then there's ICE. What are the two differences?
ICE, that's a company who builds parts for cars. You know, that's a private company, and they built this sled here. And FES, it's paid by government, by my tax money. That's the biggest difference.
They built some German sports technology for amateur sports.
Yeah, and Christoph Langen didn't only bring some of his crew members to Rennie Spies, he also brought some knowledge, so he's looking after him, and he brought him a two-man sled. So he's using a Christoph Langen sled in a two-man, but this ISE sled in four-man.
Who gets in first? Who's down? Cleaner? Looks like the Americans.
Pretty similar.
And what about the speed? Key is about the speed. Hayes, best speed by only a tenth. And -12. The next clock, the Americans hope that's single digits. If not, Rennie Spies will bump Todd Hayes from the leader box, and they're -12 to -12. That holds. That shows he's holding on. But that's a little bit of a skid. Not too bad. This is single digits. It's coming down, but I don't know if it's enough. It's going to be another close one. He's got to skid into the finish. Team Hayes looks on, and Spies holds on for a bronze medal.
Franz Sackmeister, the beast. His little coach's window. Hayes still best in the second heat, but he was slower in the first one, and you put both together, then Spies is the leader.
Well, the thing is with Hayes, he started 20th in the first heat. That was his albatross in this race. Here is Spies, a good drive down on the exit of Kreisel. He wins going away. More of the top two sleds when we come back. Here's our leader. Woo!
Wednesday night, it's the Suzuki Grand Vitara Go For It night on Speed. And this night is all about living life as an adventure. Plus, check out the all-new Suzuki Grand Vitara, the SUV built for those who go for it. The Suzuki Grand Vitara Go For It night, Wednesday night, only on Speed.
Delicious pie, Mrs. Jeffers.
Let's get down to brass tacks. We really think your son is a special talent.
He's the kind of kid we're looking for.
We told you about the 800 live college events.
And you know we've got every major conference in the country.
I just wanted to be close to home.
He'll never get off the couch.
To order Fox College Sports, call 1-877-2GET-FCS.
That is ripped into deep right field, and it's going to leave the arm.
At DirecTV, we live for sports. It's why we provide revolutionary programming for sports fans.
Can you believe it?
With exclusive packages like NFL Sunday Ticket and Mega March Madness.
Yeah, baby!
It's why we're constantly developing new and exciting ways to view sports on TV. Ways that have resulted in DirecTV winning 5 Emmy Awards for outstanding technical achievement.
Can you believe that?
It's why we bring you, far and away, more sports programming than any other cable or satellite provider. All the action.
Wow!
All the rivalries.
Big trouble!
All the drama.
Oh, boy. Oh, my.
Committed to providing you with the best sports experience, bar none.
The game is over!
DirecTV is the undisputed sports leader in television.
Welcome back to Innsbruck for the last two sleds.
Зубков Александр, Брас Иркутск, Россия. Это моя команда.
Сергей Голубев. Алексей Селиверстов.
Алексей Воевода.
Voivoda, the big guy, the arm wrestling world champion, the former one. And let's have a look at the last season's race here. Zubkov.
He had won. He had been second in the first two World Cup races last season. Came here and blew the field away for his first ever four-man victory. Went on to win the World Cup title. He's back here now in silver medal position after the heat one. And these are 4 big military athletes.
Got a new Foreman Zinger sled, and this little manufactory from Bavaria. I think the Russians helped this factory to survive. They bought so many sleds there in the last 2 years.
Yeah, the Russians got a little bit of money invested in the sport the last couple of years. Might have something to do too with all the results they've had. Zubkov, a former junior world luge champion on this track. There's the leaders at the bottom, the Germany 3. Only 100th of a second separates them. And Zubkov, similar speed to Spies. That's a skid. -1 to -2. That skid is going to be very, very, very factual into this finish time. It's down to even. Dead heat to the 100th of a second, buddies. Look how quiet that exit was. Next clock will tell you how good of an exit that was. Only worth 100. bottom part of the track, 75 miles an hour. Who's it going to be? Zubkov for Spies for at least a silver medal. It's Zubkov.
Hayes still fastest in the second heat. We have to say this, but Russia goes in the lead.
And there is another medal. What color the medal is going to be? Remember, in the two-man yesterday here in Innsbruck, Zubkov won his first ever two-man gold medal in World Cup bobsledding and dominating on the four-man circuit. And Russians, boy, have they come a long way in this sport in just 4 years. This is where they set themselves up. Look how quiet this exit is. Look at the runner tips the spray. That is the best exit we've seen. Tide Hayes for the best speed. That's why he's the leader, and that's why the Russians are celebrating.
I agree for 100%. Very clean exit.
Now, from Switzerland, listen to the bells.
Anne Martin, Hart, Witz. Und das ist meine Mannschaft. Thomas Landparter. Beat Hefti. Grand.
Good start time. The first heat, but boy, remember the two-man bobsled event in Lake Placid? Martin Annan made himself famous in Sports Illustrated. Big article, he crashed. Brakeman didn't like it, Cedric Gren. Martin says, oh, well, back to the office. He went out and finished the silver medal in the Innsbruck two-man race. Here he's trying to capture the goal, driving a Reich sled. He went back to a different sled.
Yeah. And I tell you what, this Martin Annan, he speaks so slowly, but this team can run. 4:97 in the first heat.
Start record.
Start record for the Swiss team.
Wow. You do not think these four athletes, compared to the Russians on the left, could be the track record holders at the start. But that is all about the track in Innsbruck. The guy with the best start usually is the guy that wins at the bottom.
And I tell you what, I think Martin Annan is the fastest cheesemaker on this planet.
He is a cheesemaker by trade, and you might be absolutely right. He's making a joke of the field. He's over almost a half second ahead in this track where everything's separated by 100th, but that's a mistake.
It will not cost him half a second, but that doesn't look.
Still at 46.
A little late here.
Oh, and he's very late there. Look at this sideways. Wow. That is the roughest ride of a top 10 sled I've ever seen, and he still wins by 0.4 of a second. Martin, the sled was getting away from him, though.
What did he do down in the labyrinth? Whoa. That looked very ugly for someone who won here.
I think he was very happy the race ended when it did. Another 100 meters, he might have been upside down like he was in Lake Placid. What an ugly way to win, Ron. You're absolutely right. But Martin Annan should have double gold here this weekend. He screwed up the two-man when a push bar didn't go down at the start. But look how calm he is.
So that was not a video for the how to learn bobsledding.
You would expect that out of a 20th place sled. Look at this. Look at this. This is almost over. Now into the finish curve. He almost rolled this the opposite way in. Wow. That's not the way to do it. You would not think this is the guy who won the race by 0.4. And look at the coaches. They love it. Makes up for yesterday and what happened to him in Lake Placid. Martin Annan, the cheesemaker, is our gold medalist. Team Martin Annan. Final results.
Martin Annan, Alexander Zubkov, and René Spies back on the podium in foreman. Todd Hayes, of course, losing by just 0.09 of a second. Popov, the second Russian, 5th. Pierre Luders, Stevie Alcom on 7th. Thijs Höpfner, Ivo Ruig. So Stevie Alcom beating the Germans and the Swiss. Meanings 10th. Andre Lange, the biggest disappointment of this day, 12th. But as he said, I only see the Olympic rings in my dreams. World Cup doesn't matter. The Swiss are celebrating. Where are the bells? Here they are.
We'll be back with the interviews after the break. And here is another picture of Annan getting to the bottom with a gold medal. It was ugly.
Sunday, January 15th, 24 returns to Fox with a special two-night premiere. And Speed wants to put you on the inside with the 24 Ultimate Jack Bauer Driving Experience Sweepstakes. Daily prizes awarded, or you could be headed to Hollywood to the set of 24 and to stunt driving school to learn how to drive like a CTU agent. Go to speedtv.com for more info and then click through to enter the 24 Ultimate Jack Bauer Driving Experience Sweepstakes. And don't miss the premiere of 24 Sunday, January 15th at 8/7 Central, only on Fox.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extends the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
Who's up next? Give me that pink slip.
You have lost your vehicle.
One last final race.
This is the first time this has ever happened on pink.
I didn't say that. I said stop the race.
Let's race.
Let's do it.
You agreed to it. Line the car up.
Pigs, lose the race, lose your ride. Season 2 premieres this February, only on Speed.
This is it. The Chevy Red Tag event ends January 3rd. Get to your Chevy dealer now for low Red Tag prices on most Chevy vehicles. Like the 2006 Chevy Cobalt LS with an EPA estimated 34 highway miles per gallon. Now, get an 06 Cobalt LS Coupe for the Red Tag price of $12,437 after all applicable offers. Hurry, the Chevy Red Tag event ends January 3rd. See your local Chevy dealer.
It's time for heat on ice. This is the time to fight. The hottest part for me was waiting. Heat on the
Today's bobsled program on Speed brought to you by Chevrolet, official sponsor of the United States Olympic team. Here's our gold medalist, Team Martin Annan. And here's our World Cup standings. The World Cup standings determines your placing and into the
Zubkov,
Olympics.
the new leader ahead of Annan. Lange dropped to 3rd place from leading it. Popov 4th, Pierre Luders 5th.
2 Russians in the top 5. Wow, that's Todd Hayes. Steve Holcomb tied. Mike Kahn didn't compete today. Severe blow to his Olympic chances. Let's go down to Dave Kurtz for the interviews.
Renee, good finish here in Igls.
Ja, sicherlich. Gestern waren wir mit dem 8. Platz nicht zufrieden und haben uns heute, denke ich, revanchiert mit dem 3. Platz. Für uns war es auch sehr wichtig für die Olympia-Qualifikation im eigenen Land und wir sind sehr, sehr glücklich darüber.
Yeah, yes, he's very happy with his result, and it's about time, and he's going to do the Olympics, and congratulations. Great weekend here in Igls.
Да, отличный финиш был. Это предел нашей возможности, что не было старта. И в первую очередь хотели поблагодарить наших спонсоров, которые нам помогают активно, болельщиков, которые за нас болеют. И, конечно, поздравить город Братск с 50-летием, которое будет завтра.
We want to say thank you, our fans and our sponsors, and we want to say thank you to Bratsk because it's today's 50 years anniversary.
Congratulations, Team Zubkov.
Team Zubkov really put it together today. Look at this, the exit of curve 9. He had the best speed at the bottom end of the track. He won a gold in the 2-man competition. He won a silver in the 4-man competition. Take a look at Zubkov. But here was the guy that won the gold today in the 4-man competition, Martin Annan. He had a gold and silver over the weekend also. Here's Dave Kurtz one more time.
Martin Annan, great weekend here in Igls.
Ja, es war ein super Wochenende für mich und es freut mich natürlich, dass ich wieder gewinnen kann.
Yes, he's very happy, and silver yesterday and gold here today. Congratulations, Martin Annan.
Well, our 3rd different winner on the World Cup circuit in 4-man bobsledding in 4 races. Quite a weekend. And next time up from Cortina, the Olympic selection process takes a little bit more focus. So for my FIBT television team and my broadcast partner, Ron Ringeth, I'm John Morgan. Thanks for watching. See you the next time from Cortina d'Ampezzo, Italia.
See you then. Goodbye.